June, Friday. First of all, let me get something straight. This is a diary, not a journal. Yeah, I know what it says on the cover, but when I went to buy this thing, I found absolutely nothing that said diary on it. They were all taken by Mrs. Heffley for a son, Greg. I'll talk about him later, but right now, you just need to know that he writes a lot in these diaries, or journals, as he insists. It's a diary, or it's a journal, not a diary, guys. Hey, that's the name of the channel. I can only imagine his embarrassment when he finds out his mom bought him books, clearly labeled diary in bulk. Anyways, let's not waste any more time. Here, my name's Holly Hills, soccer player, pro model, 6th grade class president. Chances are you've heard of me. I'm the fourth prettiest girl in my grade, and the prettiest one that's single. My sister, Heather Hills, is similarly well-rounded. She's a model, a cheerleader, a babysitter, and a lifeguard. Almost every boy her age would also add total hotcakes to the list as well. I have two best friends, Patty Farrell and Angie Sedman. Patty's the typical nerd, albeit one with wicked fighting skills. Angie is what happens when you mix the cool girl and the artsy girl in a blender. Together, we're codependent. How did Heather and I get such good looks, you may ask? Simple. We get them from our mom. I don't remember what she looks like. I also have two other sisters. One is older than me, but younger than Heather, while the other is younger than either of us. I don't remember what they look like either. I haven't seen them in so long. Mom divorced Dad just after my little sister was born. Mom and my two other sisters stayed in Oregon, or I can't even say that, Oregon, while Dad, Heather, and I moved to Maryland in this town called Plainview. I missed him already. This is my dad. Never had a strong relationship with him, honestly. Anyways, when I'm not hanging with Pai or Angie, I'm having some quality time with Heather. Not to say that we have everything in common. In fact, it'd be more reasonable to say we have nothing in common. Although that's not true either. It's like she's reading the latest vampire romance novel while I'm reading Pippi Longstocking. Seriously, Pippi is so cool. I can imagine myself as her on occasion. I know it's not normal, but come on. She's basically a goddess. I am woman, hear me roar. I have zero clue who that is, but yeah. I know Pippi never lifted a car. But come on, it's not 1940s Sweden anymore. Upgrades, people, upgrades. I also like memes and Helen Reddy. If that song lyric wasn't any indication, what was I talking about again? I have trouble focusing and trouble with boys. But not just boys in general. I'm talking about one specific boy in particular. One who goes by the name of Greg Heffley. He used to have the hots for me, but now he doesn't. I must admit, I was the one who opened my mouth and said something stupid. Isn't your name Fregley? Of course, he then tried to friendzone us and Rowley, so I guess we're even. Of course, while I don't love him, I really can't say he doesn't deserve love. He acts like that kid who was never hugged, though I'll get to that later, and he needs someone to hug. I can safely say that Angie would kill to be that someone. Patty hasn't had the greatest relationship with Greg as the whole Wizard of Oz fiasco proved. Luckily, one wrestling class later, she made him pay back double time, so they're pretty much even. Just don't put them in the same room together. It gets real ugly real fast, even if it only amounts to a staring contest. Anyway, me and Bryson went at it for a while, but I just wasn't feeling it. I dumped him after a week. He says he's over me, but he's lying. Anyway, I forgot what I was gonna write next, so I guess that means goodnight. Saturday. I thought today was gonna be a good day. No boy troubles, no family troubles, no nothing. Just a normal, average, decent day. But then I saw her. Trista, my worst enemy. I thought that when I left Oregon, I'd leave her behind, too. That was one of the few things that comforted me during those troubling times. But, as it turned out, she also moved to Plainview not too long ago, just to torment me further. And of course, she hasn't changed a bit, with Greg now in her target range. Or, at least he was. Now, he's no different than the other boys Trista met. She charmed them and acted all sweet and nice and good. Then she threw them out like yesterday's garbage when she found her next victim. It's a vicious cycle Although, not as vicious as I'm gonna be when I get to her. Did I really just write that? Man. And I thought I was just chill as Mount Everest. All my life, I never got angry around anyone or anything. But what Trista's doing makes me furious. Or maybe my anger has just been repressed all this time. And now it's finally boiling over. Either way, I just learned that I'm a ticking time bomb. And someone's gonna have to defuse me quick. Or else I'm gonna explode. Did I really just write that? Man, that was a good analogy. Either way, I gotta cool off before I blow. I'm going to the pool tomorrow. Hopefully that should calm my nerves. I'll give you an update when I get back. Sunday, so I'm back, and I gotta say, today was kinda weird. After his rejection by Trista, Greg now set his romantic interest on Heather, my big sister. Heather, cool and collected as always, which I've totally forgot to mention. Oops, paid him no mind. Hey Heather, where you get that? Get what? All that beauty?
Boy, if you don't get your squiggly diggly head
I never knew he liked older women, but then again, at this point, Greg would probably take what he could get. I gotta say, I kind of feel sorry for him. He's got a crappy life and even worse, red non-existent love life, and his mom publishes journals without permission. I'm not joking. Of course, I'm not exactly sure these are Greg's journals. However, if they are, they've been heavily edited for reasons I don't really get. For example, Angie isn't mentioned at all. Meanwhile, Greg has met Angie in real life, albeit not in the best circumstances. Hello, handsome. P.S. All this colouring is so tiring, so from now on I only colour the characters and certain props. Anyway, Greg was pretty put off by the encounter, and he still wasn't actively looking for Angie despite being single and ready to mingle. Next time I get the chance, I will ask him about that. Angie just says he's plain hard to get, but I highly doubt that. Anyways, another thing the published journal skipped over was where Patty kicked his butt in wrestling. That was brutal, and Greg likely wouldn't want these to get out into the public, but a diary, that's just what it says on the cover. It's supposed to be a secret. Either way, I feel like Greg needs to hear about this from someone. I gotta go tell him. Monday. So I talked to Greg about his diaries being published, and well, hey, your mom is... I know. Turns out Greg knew about his diaries being published. His mom said she'd publish the journals if he didn't do his chores, and then one day he forgot. Greg's mother used his own diaries as blackmail. I had to hung up and destroy something. Turns out a piece of paper with Trista and Greg's mom's face would suffice. But then I called him back and told him about the edits. Turns out Greg knew about those too. He begged his mom not to publish those secrets, and she complied. It's good to know that Greg was aware of these changes, but now I want to know, what other secrets has Greg been hiding? When I asked, he just hung up. I'll have to investigate this further. Tuesday, I forgot what I was going to do today. Wednesday, Patty and Angie invited me to the pool. I'll be back tomorrow to write what happened today, good or bad. Thursday, so I beat up Trista in a fit of rage yesterday. I don't know what came over me. All I know is that Trista got me really angry. She said she didn't care about Greg. She deserved everything I gave her. No, she didn't. I didn't need to go berserk on her. What's happening to me? Well, I got one thing clear. Patty was ecstatic. That was awesome, Holly. She offered to give me fighting lessons so I can really harness the internal anger or something like that. I don't see myself as fighting material, but my outburst says otherwise, so maybe I'll consider it. Angie, in her infinitely weird wisdom, gave me some really sad advice. Don't let the sun go down on your anger, I think was. Also, I got grounded for a week by my dad. Seems fair enough for nearly beating someone to a pulp. I presume, with nothing really going on, I don't think I'll be writing in here for the next week or so. I'll be checking back and around next week and tell you guys how things are going then, okay? Oh, I forgot to mention, Heather was a little scared after that thing at first, but she got over it and even helped me calm down. At least I'll have someone to talk to over this long week.
Right, guys, yeah. It's time to shout out my Patreon members. I don't know why it took me like 4 or 5 months to do this, but yeah, we're shouting them out. So let's see. Oyo, Tung Tung. Subscribe today. Free member. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Got Booty Gobbler 123. Really appreciate it, man. You're eating booty. You're gobbling booty whilst you're watching me. Very nice. Cornius the third. Yeah, another free member since like last month. Kel Fortune. Yeah, appreciate the support, my bro. He's this Travis boy. He's lit. Fiend. My boy Travis got in the house. Fedor the Fedor the March for 15th. Thank you, bro. Jacob, my boy Jacob, the first ever donator, mate. He didn't donate me a couple shillings, mate. He donated me a normal donation, mate. Really appreciate it, mate. So when me pay my bills, mate, really appreciate Jacob. You're a legend, mate. And the first ever supporter, T-Rex, my boy T-Rex. Yeah, I should probably cover their emails. You know, I don't want guys emailing them. But yeah, guys, appreciate the support. And yeah.